Hello everybody, welcome along, welcome to the workshop for my Wednesday live demonstration. Right, straight into it today because there's a lot to do. Firstly, bit of an apology to make. I was trying this thing out yesterday and I may have got a bit carried away because it was so much fun. So I've actually hollowed out quite a lot of this, but there is still a load to do. But when I unwrap this in a minute, you'll see I've made quite a good start. Second thing I want to say, somebody spoke to me the other week about eye safety. Before I bring my earworms in, I just want to clear something up and clarify something to anybody that's watching. These glasses are my everyday wear prescription glasses. I paid extra to have safety lenses put in my designer frames. The lenses are shatterproof and are actually a higher shatterproof rating than the Woodturning visors we use. So when you see me on videos or in lives, these are my safety glasses. I wear these as a bare minimum. If I'm not wearing these, I'm wearing these, which are also safety glasses, but not prescription, and I can't see as well, and I do everything by feel, because I'm blind as a bat. If I'm not wearing these, I'm wearing this. I wear this when I'm not on camera, and I'm turning for myself, or for work, I wear this all day long. When I'm sanding, I wear my power mask, because that's a respirator as well as a safety shield. I would advise everybody who does turning, at a bare minimum, to be wearing safety glasses. Better job, a visor, okay? But your safety is your responsibility. So when you see me on video and I'm wearing these buggers, these are safety specs, okay? Don't think I'm not being safety conscious. Right, let's bring the guys in, rant over. So helping me out today. I've
Mark,
got
do you realise you just used a swear word on lunchtime YouTube?
Oh, it was a B, so it's all right. What, earworms? So help me out today. I've got Pete from Twisted Trees. I've got Lewis, the Klondike Grassman from Canada. And I've got Brian from Woodturning from Stable Studios in Northern Ireland.
Good afternoon,
They're going to stay on the screen like this throughout this live because this is going to be a Halloween live. For those of you that watch Halloween on YouTube, it's very difficult to get the cameras right. It's very difficult for you to see everything that's going on. I've tried my best by changing some of the cameras around, but I brought these guys in and I leave them on the screen so they can juggle, they can pull faces, they can take their clothes off, they can dance, and they can basically entertain you while I'm doing all the boring stuff here on the lathe. I'll change the camera so you guys can see what I've got here on the lathe. Now, it's wrapped in black plastic for a reason. I started this piece about 3 weeks ago. This is, as the title of the video suggests, a piece of the bude tree. The bude tree was a large Monterey cypress that's been in the triangle in the center of Bude for, we think, approximately 150, 160 years. And sadly, in the storms we had in February, it fell over. If you go onto Google and type in bude tree, there are loads and loads of videos of it actually falling over. Somebody was able to capture the moment it fell. The piece I have here was given to me by Bude Stratton Town Council, and I was asked if I could do something with it. I was given free artistic license, do what I like with it. I'm going to donate it back to the council free of charge, and they're going to display it in the offices or in the Bude Museum for everybody to see. This is the very last available piece of the bude tree, so no pressure.
No,
All
no
the rest of
pressure
it
at
has
all.
been sold off for firewood and given to another artist to make 3 2.5 meter long, 1 ton in weight wave benches, which will be placed around bude. So he had some of it, I had this one little piece, and all the rest was sold firewood for charity. So let's unwrap it. The reason it's wrapped is because I had to start and stop doing it, and because it was green, I didn't want it to develop any cracks. So I've wrapped it to keep the moisture in while it was being unturned, or being left alone. So we have quite a pretty piece of Monterey cypress. Nice deep inclusion in here. Not quite such a deep one here, but this will probably come through. And it's got some very, very nice colouring and figuring in the grain. So I'm going to start hollowing this out using this rig, which if I bring this camera back in. So I'm going to be using this, which is Simon Hope articulated arm hollowing rig. I've had this a while, but this is the first time I've actually properly used it. And this has the laser head on it. I went for the laser instead of the camera. It just suits how I turn. And on the end, it's got the 6mm copper carbide hollowing carbide cutter. And it does need to be supported when it's being used by a tool rest, because there is quite a lot of flex and movement in the arm, so you do have to use it with a tool rest. So now that I've finally stopped talking, waffling on, these guys are going to tell me who's in the chat, say hello to everyone, and they're going to be asking me any questions you have. So I'll leave it to them, and I'll get on with it.
Oh, well, you want me to read the participants list, guys?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll do that. So on the participants list today, we have Mr. Chris Dodds, all the way from Australia, Rob Copper Woodturning, Mr. Doug Miller from Wisborne Round, Four King Isles is in, Jennifer's Craft and Creations, Jim Matthew is in, JP Woodworks, JP, Leroy 500 is in, Michael McEwen, Paul Finley Woodturning at Home, Roger Kent, Ruby Clare, the Tipsy Turner is in, and if I could get a mouse to work, Todd at Glencove Woodworks, Ward Wilson and Woodworm Paul are the people who are on the participant list, but there's much, much more than that, and there's 43 people watching.
Oh, thank you very much.
Stephen Gordon is in, Paul Houghton and Grisby Turner, Roger Kent. Who else have we got? Ward Wilson. Let's see. I'm at the bottom of the list, so if I haven't called your name out, stick your name in the bottom of the chat, guys, and we'll give you a shout out. Welcome along, everybody.
Yep. Question from me, Mark. What's the wall thickness you've got set?
6mm.
6mm.
So this little dot I can see on the screen, flicking back and forward, is the head of the laser, obviously.
Yeah, that's the laser on the surface of the wood.
Yep.
And that sets your wall thickness.
Mm-hmm.
And when the laser starts falling off the side of the wood, it is starting to get to your thickness.
Wayne the Woodturner has joined us. Good afternoon, Wayne.
Anyway,
Oh, right.
and Terry Bartlett is in. Stephen the Wood there as well. And Norman Greenwell.
Now, using the
Been
laser
there.
system opposed to the television, the camera lens system, with the laser, you do have to adjust the position of the laser when you get to the bottom of the piece and to the top of the piece.
Yeah, it's got to be off a bit of cutter you're using, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Joe has joined us. Good afternoon, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
The beauty of having such a big hole in the side is basically ejecting all the chips as I go, but I will stop in a second and just, actually I'll stop now, do a little bit of hoovering out.
You've got a big hole in the side. It should fall out.
Yeah. Now I find it, this was one of, actually it's funny, he's just come in, one of Wayne's tips. It's better to hoover out the insides than it is to blow them out. Because blowing them out, all you're doing there is blowing all the dust
Over
into
your workshop.
all over your workshop. And if you hoover it out, then
It's a much tidier job. It gets rid of the dust and everything.
Yep.
Whereas if you just blow it with an air line, it just sends it around your workshop, basically.
now the articulation on this arm is fantastic. It's got such a range of movement. And before anybody says, no, I'm not sponsored by Simon Hope, it is just a really good rig.
Joe Senior said she's just in for a quick visit because her and Glenn are out making deliveries. Ooh. More grit deliveries.
JP Woodbrook said, I was bringing some resin blanks with me when I visit Mark. Would you like me to bring him some? And if so, what colours? Black and yellow is not an option. I think the answer is yes, he would like them. And the bigger and messier they are, the better.
Yep.
exactly.
Absolutely.
And speed will not be my friend.
Well, we tried that once.
Charlie,
As you
here.
can see,
Hi, Charlie.
if I change camera,
There we go.
the nice thing about this, it's very relaxed, very easy. No strain on my back. I can just chip away. One cut at a time.
My wife just walked past the window and stuck her tongue out at me. Bonkers.
Now I grew up with this tree being in place in Bude. I used to eat fish and chips under it every Friday afternoon. My first wife and I used to have picnics under this tree.
Somebody stop him, boys. He's got to get sentimental now. Somebody stop him.
No, it's a big deal in Bude. A lot of the locals who I went to school with and grew up here, we understand what this tree means to us. A lot of the blow-ins don't necessarily understand how important this tree was.
JP reckons you may have planted it.
I'm old, but I ain't that old.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. Joe Senior says, for some reason I don't have sound. Well, I think it's at your end this time, Joe. I don't think it's
Yeah.
anything to do with the output. Everything else is good here. Seems to be.
Right, bit of hoovering again.
Charlie Taylor has said it's working where he is.
Wayne Fennell's in. Hi, Wayne.
I've got a
Oh,
question.
Wayne. Oh, no.
This is the
Go
second
on.
time we've seen the vacuum cleaner in operation. Are you sponsored by Brian?
Not with that pile of shavings on the floor, he isn't. Have you seen them
What pile of
shavings on the
shaving?
floor?
Well, those. That was
Ah,
inside
yeah,
that
those.
yesterday.
Yeah. It should be in a bag by now, not lying on the floor. What you try to do, dry
Nah,
it out?
could be, useful.
I
I'm
think
gonna
he's
work on
trying to
this
dry
bottom
it
bit.
out. Yeah. Maybe useful to catch the tears if you go through the side of this.
How big is that piece, Mike?
JP says he's sponsored by
How big?
Henry.
It is
I love the way the shavings are falling out as he goes round.
10 inches long. It's about 11 inches at its widest. And the hole at the top is 3 inches.
Clinton Wood Dancers has joined us. He said he's sorry he's late. Don't be sorry, just get here on time, friend.
I'll tell you what I did forget to do, which I will now do. I forgot to press record.
Oh,
No, you did
Oh,
not.
Mark.
After us reminding you. I mean, for goodness sake.
I've pressed record now. I'm actually recording on my camcorder up there, there, and OBS, because this is all going to be part of a video. There won't be any sound, because I'll just add music.
Still have to figure out how to do a background soundtrack.
Yeah, you can do it on recording, but you can't do it on streaming.
Yeah. Chris Dodd's a question for me. He says, has Henry visited you yet? Henry?
Henry Hoover's, I think he's referring to.
No, I bought my vacuum cleaner comes all the way from Germany.
Same one I've got, isn't it?
Yeah, it is the same one you've got. Yeah. Well, mine's not a Titan, but it's the same breed. It's just comes out of the same factory, obviously. Different badge on it, but they're identical. Other than the badge.
See, I now have a Henry Hoover in the workshop because my wife has fallen out with it.
Oh, she fell it. Oh, not the Henry.
So she's convinced
you
it
have
has an evil face whenever you're not looking at it.
Okay. Did you have to buy her a fancy one with batteries, Pete?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
how deep can you hollow with that rig, Mark?
Well, I can go right down the bottom, because if you've got one of these modular tool rest systems, you can put your tool rest right the way in. You can put your tool rest in, and that gives you extra support. So I'm
Turn the bowl a
10
little bit
inches
towards
down.
us. Turn the bowl a little bit. There you go. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm 10 inches right the way in. There's the tool rest there,
Wow.
sticking in. Because I've got one of the offset bars, so it's
Oh, yeah.
further in that side than it is this side. Move that again. Hoovering 3 times.
I know. This is some kind of miracle.
When you're hollowing out like this, deep piece, you do need to make sure you keep clearing the pieces, clearing the chips out. Okay. So on
We
we
zoom
go
out a
in.
bit.
Hey?
We go
Zoom
out
out a
a bit.
little bit. I can only just see that.
Better.
Better?
That's
Yeah.
better. Yep, that's much better. Yeah, the wood dude says that he first started hollowing with homemade carbide tools. He said it was like wrestling a gorilla. And then he got the Simon Hope hollowing rig, and it's a joy.
It is. I had to physically stop myself yesterday because I was going away at this like a lunatic, and all of a sudden realised I wasn't going to have anything left to do today.
I'd have to move my lathe to set one of those up, I think.
It's clamped to the bedways right at the back of the lathe.
Is that at the end of the extension as well, Mark? Or?
No, I've put it on. I've taken the extension off for the time being.
Okay. Susie, the Swiss woodturner, is in. She says, "Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry I'm late, but I had to
When
get
you've
the
got a big-
motorbike to the mechanic." Oh,
When you've got a big void like this one, just gentle cuts, because you don't want to take a chance sticking that cutter out through the hole.
How fast is that spinning, Mark?
530 RPM. It's quite unbalanced, so I can't actually get much more out of it.
Yeah.
she's using a nice smooth finish on the inside with the 6mm carbide cutter. It's quite difficult, I find.
Yeah, this is really just waste removal.
Yeah. Susie's asking, because she was late, she's asking what wood it is, Mark.
It's Monterey Cypress. And I do have to admit, it stinks.
JP's asking, what sort of wall thickness are you going for? JP should have been listening.
6mm.
6mm, he said. You set the gap between the laser and the cutter head at 6mm. So
How much time did you have into hollowing that before you started today?
Sorry?
How much time did you have into hollowing that before you started today?
About 45 minutes.
Oh, wow.
First I went down with a 60mm, forcing a bit straight down to the depth.
it was real handy having that inclusion, Mark.
Yeah. It's getting there, though.
Yeah,
We all of us
inclusions.
Come on.
Inclusions have got two things on these. It's quite handy to clear it out, but also it means you've got to get the inside right.
Yeah, that's
Without the inclusion, you've only got to get as far down as you can reach with your fingers, right?
basically, yeah.
This one's attached to the bedway, Susie.
It's on an articulated arm, Susie.
We'll show you again in a minute or two, Susie.
I wonder how it worked with the Sorby.
Yeah, with the Steady Pro.
Yeah.
Probably
Oh,
worked
fine.
quite well, but it would be quite restricted in the movement. You can hear that arm just overextending a little bit.
Coming into the bottom there, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not got to watch where the laser is there, remember.
Yeah, no, I've got plenty at the bottom. I
Okay.
left myself a good inch.
Because the laser is set to the left edge of the
Side.
cutting tool, is it not? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the front edge.
Our angle makes it look like you're getting there.
Yeah, it looks like that's about thin enough
No,
the way we're looking at it, but it's not because we are just not direct overhead.
Where's my ruler? Right, so the bottom is about there.
Okay.
So I've got the foot, because I'm going to leave a little bit of this foot on for it to sit on as a base.
Okay.
Probably about that much. So I've got probably inch and a quarter from the inside bottom.
So Stephen has just said he's just finished hollowing a piece with this hope rig, and it's now down to just under 2 mil. And he suggests it's best to finish off with a large high-speed steel cutter.
Yep, I've got one of those, which I'm going to show at some point.
He says he's now ready for some piercing. Oh. Piercing takes up a lot of time, Stephen.
Now, Stephen, did you hollow it out all the way this time, or did you only do a quarter of it?
Oh.
He knows what that means. Right. Now this hole is only getting bigger and bigger.
Yep.
Down the side.
And Jammin's in. Hey, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Hey.
Welcome along. Ben Jammy is in.
Hi, Ben. Stop and have a look. Another hoover.
Yeah, Rob suggested you could just leave the hoover running behind you there and get rid of the pile of shavings on the floor. But I'm afraid the pile of shavings is too big for his hoover.
It is too big for the hoover. Now, the reasoning behind this, I've also got the Paul Howard sphere jig. When I first started doing this piece, I thought, oh, I'll make a perfect spear. A friend of mine down here in Cornwall, Mike Clark, does some fantastic work. And he recently did a black sphere, or it was a sphere that he burnt. And then I thought, well, actually, although people in Bude love the tree, we're all very fond of her, she was an ugly old tree. And for her to be perfectly round and symmetrical wouldn't really have been demonstrating what she actually was. So I've gone for a bit of an irregular kind of pumpkin shape.
Rob from Copper Isle Woodturning's got a question. When doing this kind of hollowing, do you work it all the way even top to bottom?
Yes.
Yeah, but
Try to keep it even. Try to keep an even wall thickness right the way from top to bottom, because otherwise the piece will be unbalanced. It'll be heavy in areas, lighter in others. I do want some weight to the piece. I don't want it to be light and flimsy. So just there. That light is just starting to fall off. In fact, it has fallen off.
Well, you can see that, but because of the camera angle, we can't actually see it. So
Right, what I'm also going to do is I'm just going to make sure that my... that's come right off. Right, so where's my box with my markings on it? It's all very technical, this. There.
well,
Yeah,
smile
something
to
like
it.
that. Yeah, that's what I thought all of a sudden.
Something's moved both of that. Can you bring it in a little bit further, Mark? We can't quite see what you got there.
There we go.
That's good. Yeah, perfect. Wow.
There we go. So that's set like that. My high-tech cardboard box with the 6mm lines.
How do you lock that in place, Mark?
This bar, let me see if I can show you with this one. This bar here
Yep.
screws into the articulated arm, and you lock it in place with an Allen key. Literally just
Okay.
locks in place. So now I've locked that in place, I just need to check my gap again. These two lines on this box are 6mm. So obviously I knocked it or something, or movement of the hollowing has moved it. But it's good to be aware of it and make sure that you don't all of a sudden think, oh, I've got plenty, and you haven't got any.
Want to
Okay,
switch
camera.
cameras there?
Back to the overhead, mate.
There we go.
Round job. Yeah, Rob's clarified his question a bit. He asked me if you do it in steps on the way down.
Right.
To be honest, I've been doing this just sort of do here a bit, do there a bit, do here a bit, because hollowing something this big can be a bit, I hate to use the word boring because it's not boring, but a bit monotonous. So I'll do a bit of the bottom, then I'll come up and do a bit of the top, then do another bit of the bottom, do a bit in the middle. I just like to variety, you know.
Like all hollowing, when you can see it, you vary what your approach is based on the timber in front of you. Sometimes if you're doing a bowl, you'll do the top edge and then take the next step out. Sometimes you'll cut right to the middle. All depends on the timber.
Yep.
When I'm hollowing, I don't use the system like that. I've got a 4 foot long handle and just use a lot of muscle on it. And I tend to take out in any order the first couple of inches, get down to about 1.5 inch thick wall, then I'll get a little bit more technical with it.
You'll get
Q's
to a
in.
point.
Good evening, Q.
I think,
Thank you.
like any form of turning, when you're doing the first stages of any piece, a bowl, a vase, a platter, a hollow form, you're just roughing out, and you tend to go at it a bit harder, a bit more energetically. So I've broken through the other side now. when you get to the latter stages, towards the end, obviously then you're having to be a bit more careful. You're being a little bit more finesse with the piece, and just generally.
So, Rob, the laser is set at 6mm from the cutter. So there's a 6mm wall thickness Mark's trying to achieve here. And the wood, we've got Hugh from Wouldn't It Be Nice is in, and Mick Hughes is in. Good afternoon, guys.
The nice thing is I can actually see the cutter through there.
Yeah.
And you says, question, is that a Simon Hope Hollower? It
Yes,
is.
it is.
What is the tool actually called? What's the name for it?
It's a hollowing rig.
Simon Hope Hollowing Rig.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
All right.
There's two versions, one with a television camera, and it comes with a screen.
Mm-hmm. I'm just
And this
picking
one
it up
comes
here
with-
now. There's the link to the said piece of kit. It's called the Hope Easy Laser System. The full kit, £397, including that.
Oh, everything else is $12.99, Brian.
And it's got a nice handy on the website. It's got a nice handy add to shopping cart or PayPal checkout. Move the mouse from the yellow button, Brian.
Yeah, you got a vacuum truck to buy first.
That's correct. I mentioned that to my son yesterday, and he says, "Oh, do you? Oh, okay."
And Christoph's is suggesting you can order one of the high-tech measuring cardboard boxes from Mark. Yeah, but it's on a waiting list behind the depth gauges. So, might have to wait a while.
Yeah,
Stop and have a look.
it's $12.99. Yeah, it is $12.99.
This hollowing log is great fun to do. It's very satisfying, and I will apologise. It's extremely boring for people watching.
Stop apologising and keep telling me. We're grand.
Get on with it.
We're grand. Richard Field's having trouble with customers. Customers keep interrupting my viewing.
Interrupting, yeah. How unfortunate.
Nothing worse. Nothing worse.
Nothing worse.
Hey, come
yeah.
think of that, Lewis. How are you in here today? How are you not working?
I'm on vacation, buddy.
Oh, you're on vacation. Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
I
work
thought you
before
just
this,
got a day
I'll be
off
working afterwards, but this is how we
Yeah.
spend vacation over here.
Excellent. Oh, my life's a holiday, Lewis. I have nothing better to do all day, every day. Although a friend of
Well-
Michelle's has just had an ash tree taken down at the back of her house. So I may
That's
have to get in my tractor with the trailer, the 3-ton trailer on the back, and go and pick some bits of wood up.
Perfect.
I'm hopeful that they haven't cut it into little 8-inch discs.
No.
No, hopefully it'll be big piece.
I've seen a picture. It's not a very good picture. It's not what you call a woodturner's picture, but I've seen a picture of the tree lying down. And it appears to be just in cookies, like I don't know how deep they're. I'm hoping they're about 20 inches or so. But we shall see.
I am just trying to be really careful with this inclusion.
Now, how thin will you go when you're roughing it in? How thin will you go before you start from the top and work your way to the bottom to keep the vibration going?
Sorry, say that again.
How thin will you? I know you're just roughing it right now, and it's still got lots of meat on it. But how thin will you take that down before you start at the mouth and work your way to the bottom with the final thickness?
Not far off it, to be honest. So about 10 or 12 mil. See, what I don't want to happen is that. Don't know if you
Can't see that.
this. Let's have a look. Right. So while I'm turning, I don't want this to happen.
No.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
No, you definitely
There's
do
the
not
bar.
want that.
There's the cutter. Okay? Because that is quite a substantial hole.
Mm.
So when I'm coming past the beginning of the hole to here, I'm just taking it easy. I'm not pressing this far very hard. I'm just letting the piece spin. What I'm actually going to try and do is see if I can get the speed up just a little bit more now.
Well, I'm surprised he hasn't put it in the chat yet, but I'm sure JP is thinking speed is your friend.
Well, speed is your friend. That's 600. That's just about where I want to be, because any more.
JP says yes and faster. That sounds like revenge to me, JP.
That camera
Yeah,
angle
that's
is really good for us now. We can see the cutter.
Yeah,
Yep.
Can you?
Yeah, we can see it flickering in. The speed is now opening up that void for us to see through. Never says JP. Yeah, right enough, Jamie. Jamie Page.
Rex Mark said earlier he's at 550 because the piece is so unbalanced. It's rotating fairly slowly, which means you've got to be slower with the tool.
It looks very much like the head of that, the bar that's holding the laser is wobbling about a whole lot. It's hard to tell because I can't see it in relation to the tool. Yeah, but I can't see it in relation to where it's attached to the tool. Yeah, how much it is actually moving. Rex B's question is, how fast do you go with this?
Go as fast as you like. As fast as the piece will take.
Yep. It's just about like any other piece. You got to take care of the size and the balance of the piece of wood and determine how fast you can go. In basically, he's just using a hollowing, any hollowing tool. So. JP's suggestion is Mark should go as fast as possible.
Yes, JP.
And Rex has said, is the upper range like 2k or less? I wouldn't. For something that size, I wouldn't have got anywhere near 2,000 revs.
No.
I'd be looking at just under 1,000 maybe.
I would, yeah.
When I get to finished speed, I might get up to 1,000.
Yeah, it's too big a piece to be, in my opinion anyway, to be cranking the speed up too high.
You want to flip your camera smart.
Okay?
You want to change your cameras there, where your collar's kind of blocking the cutter.
What am I on? Tailstock. Over it. How's that look?
That's
Yeah,
better.
that's good.
Okay, let's go with that.
I'm just working on this upper third for a bit.
Chris Dodds said you definitely need a thumbs up today. Yeah, I might give you one in a minute.
Thank you.
Yeah, I might know. I haven't yet. I'll go in then a while.
You got 52 watching and 26 of them like it.
I've got 30 on my screen, Pete.
Right, I'm just going to stop a sec. Ah,
Stop a sweat. Stop a minute and wipe your
Yeah.
brow.
31 now.
who needs to Hoover?
Don't you hate it when you refresh the page, and you have to go through all the ads again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do apologise for being monetised.
Oh, don't
Doesn't
worry
matter if you
about
monetize or not these days. They advertise on
it.
they
Right.
advertise on mine
Advertise
just as
everything.
much.
Doesn't matter anymore. Hello,
What I'm
Clive.
going to do, I'm going to put this
Hugh
one on, just a bit of cleaning up.
Okay. Hugh from Wouldn't It Be Nice has just said, question. It's not such a question, it's a statement. I think Mark is very brave to turn this piece particularly on a live.
Well,
JP's just given you a super chat for a $5, he says. More
oh,
speed.
Jamie, thank you. More
For
speed.
more speed, he says.
For more speed, yep.
I will. More speed, I will if I can. Right, so just to give you a... Which camera am I on? Overhead? That's the cutter. So that's the Simon Oak 6mm cut cutter.
Mm-hmm.
So this arm here is held in with a grub screw. So you can actually adjust the position of this so you can come more right angle or further out. So that's fully
Straight.
adjustable. It
Is
also
that a
has...
Mark, is that a 3/4 inch bar?
It's a 19mm bar, yeah.
19.
It also has a different end, so you can get further range of movement. Move this cutter to this end, and it also has this high-speed steel cutter. Okay, which I'm going to put in now. Now, obviously, with this, I'm going to have to get the high-tech measuring device back out again.
There we go.
Rex B says, is there any way you can ask another hollowing system manufacturer and review their product as well? Yeah.
Unfortunately,
That would
this
be
one
good.
is privately owned as opposed to on review.
That would be good. That would be good, Rex, if you could manage it.
If other manufacturers happen to be watching this and they want them reviewed, I'm sure Mark will be pleased to
Delighted.
help.
I would, but to be honest, I think you'd be hard-pressed to beat this. Right, so that needs to go there.
And Ben points out there's not that many options in the UK, but there are a few.
It's quite an expensive piece of kit unless you're doing a lot of holoforms, I would think. The camera one's even more expensive.
Yeah, the camera one's £100 more. Just
It is,
over £100 more.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so you can see how quickly I was able to adjust the laser for the new cutter. Who's messaging me? Right, so that's clear in there. Camera mine.
The wood dude suggests he might send you a ruler, Mark. That's what I need there. Oh, easy set threading jig. Oh. Why did you send me to this Simon Hope website?
Because it's funny to see you squirm.
Thanks, mate. £487 for the full kit for the camera. Wow.
I think that's moved again. Has that moved again? No. It's just me being paranoid. A bit of paranoia when you're hollowing is a good thing.
Yeah. It tends to keep you inside.
JP says, has anyone ever heard of any lag on the camera one? That would be one of his fears. I don't think there'd be any
Yeah.
lag, JP, because it's a cable connection, not a wireless connection.
So Ben said the camera kit isn't really expensive. It's about 25 quid. Well, I've just looked at the Simon Hope page here, and the camera kit for the hollowing jig is £199 plus shipping.
Yeah, you can rig up your own DIY camera kit. I think that's what Ben's talking about.
Well, no, you can buy just the camera and put it with your own screen.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
I'm
So
looking for it.
you can rig their camera to your screen. If you've already got the laser jig, then you can extend it. Lewis has dropped out. He might be in the background in a minute. He's having internet problems.
Oh, yeah. I was having those as well. Yeah.
We were earlier, right enough.
Nope, he's not here.
No, it's just
Let me
dropped
know
out.
when he comes back in.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. He'll pop in the chat first, I'm sure.
And Stephen said, Simon Hope will give you a discount if you send him a Christmas card once a year. Presumably March wouldn't be good then.
Yeah, I know. August wouldn't be very much. Send her a Christmas card today. I'll order it tomorrow. Would that be?
One thing I did want to ask everybody in the chat. I'll stop the piece in a minute and we can have another look at it. Actually, I'll stop it now because I need to reposition the tool rest. My idea for this was I was going to burn it. I was going to burn it, make it all black. But I'm really quite liking
Lewis is backstage.
some of the grain pattern. There he is.
Sorry
Oh,
about
you're
that.
back there.
I'm actually liking some of this wavy.
Some of the figures in it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe just sand and do an oil finish.
Oh, well, so you could always sand it and then give it a coat of methylated spirit or something to see what it looks like. Give you an idea before you.
Yeah.
JP suggests leave it. JP says leave it, no colour.
Yeah, I think
Chris
that's
Dodd
probably
says no burning.
because this is a green piece. Every now and then, you notice I'm checking the tenon. It's always a good idea with green wood, wet wood. Whenever we say green wood, we're referring to wet wood. To just tighten the chuck up because the fibers compress, and then they'll compress a bit more. So then just keep it, make sure you checked it properly.
So
See if I
Ruby
can
Claire
get
has, Mark, Ruby Claire has said leave it natural.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But Hugh says you may burn it maybe just a little bit around the holes. That might be an interesting idea.
I'm getting a bit of vibration there, but it's 700. And I'm actually quite happy with that. So stop the lathe. Move this round into position.
You can always use milk, right?
Is
Well,
Simon
good.
Simon Hope still not shipping to the
No, he's not.
America? No.
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 Does he ship to Europe?
Yes.
He
Yes.
must do.
But he had problems with
Susie is asking.
post going missing. I think it was Canada.
Oh,
Post was
right,
just
okay.
getting stuck in customs for months.
Pete, can't say that. Can't
Why
blame
not?
the Canadians for this one.
Why
Can
not?
I gotta go.
Right.
I gotta go back to the other cutter.
my brother had the same problem because he used to export to America and Canada. And Canadian customs could take up to 3 months to clear.
Wow.
Wow, he's right.
Well,
Which,
to
you
be
know,
honest,
when you've got customers waiting, that's not acceptable.
we know that, don't we, Lewis? Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lewis sent me a coring system from Canada. How long did it take? 16 weeks, wasn't it? 23
Something
weeks.
Yeah,
like that.
it left the second week in February.
Only
And
got
you
it
got
about
it.
3-4 weeks.
Yeah. June or July. It was crazy.
Jonathan Flynn has joined us from New York. He said, "Good morning from New York. No colour." See, I quite like the thickness you got on that opening there.
Where the
I quite
inclusion
like the
is.
idea of burning that just around the edge.
But just round there.
Yeah,
Just round there.
yeah, just on that bit.
Shane Hurst has joined us. Good evening.
And
Good
what about
afternoon,
this
Shane.
this bit? The opening.
Can't see that from here, but
Round the opening that you've made.
in theory, I think it's because the void is a natural shape. I think it would go well with a burn, as Hugh suggested.
Ben Jam was asking, when finished, are you go put the piece back that you've cut out from the side there? You know, this trapdoor that you've made so you can see into it.
This trapdoor was just purely for the ability to be able to see where I'm going. Now,
Oh dear. Ouch.
gently.
Careful.
I'll tell you what I have done. I've put that very aggressively.
Yeah. So Wayne Fennell says he's talking about deliveries. He ordered several things from Axminster on Monday afternoon, and they were delivered to me here in France this very afternoon.
It's good going.
Yep, that's good. 2-day delivery. That's about that's quicker than I can get it from Amazon. From the UK to Northern Ireland.
Yeah, but that does have to go through border controls.
Now, this is true. It's just like, well, it's the same as send it to France. Like send it to Europe, so. Stephen says, Mark, how about a small texturing around the openings and then Staffordshire black all over?
Staffordshire black.
Woodburn Paul says we missed a question. Did we? Question mark. Are you going to be any marquetry work on the outside?
Marquetry? No.
No.
God, no.
No. No.
That's a bit like segmenting, isn't it?
It's just, yeah. just no.
Right. Because I'm right at sort of the limit of the extension, I'm just going to put that tool rest back in there, just to work on the bottom here a bit.
Oh, Seth is in from Brickhouse Craftworks. Careful, Mark.
So, I have got this set quite aggressive. So I'm going to take that aggressiveness off. So rotate the tool. So the cutter's at more of an angle now.
30 degrees or 35 degrees, something like that.
Because I've done that, you have to check to make sure you've got your
laser in the right place.
I haven't. So, undo your laser. Tighten it back up again. I know it seems like a lot of faffing, but it's worth it.
Lewis is back in the chat. I don't know if he's backstage or not.
It keeps falling out. Yes and no.
Yeah, he's back in. Oh no.
No, he's not. He came in and got the wheel of death and fell out again.
Right. Let's try again.
Susie setting a nice challenge for you.
Oh,
Put
indeed.
the entire outside and gold leaf the entire inside. It would look awesome.
And the wood dude says, Susie, have you ever tried to gold leaf the inside of one? It's not easy. But then it's a huge big inclusion to get your hand in. So
Yeah. Plenty of
it should be
access. Be
doable.
fine.
Yeah, it should be doable.
Absolutely fine. As long as I'm not doing it, it'd be grand.
We're not known for being flashy down here in Bude. Got to bear in mind that this is sort of a artistic representation of the people of Bude.
What? Round with holes in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know, I don't know that many people from Bude, but you know, Golden Heart sounds about right. So Susie could be on something.
Susie has said that she hasn't tried one, but she's seen one in a similar sized globe. The wood dude's got to go, he says. I've just heard a chainsaw. Somebody must be cutting down trees somewhere. Catch you later, Stephen.
See you later, Stephen.
On a totally unrelated subject, you bought your vacuum chuck from Ed Oliver, didn't you?
I did. Now you can see I'm getting a little more comfortable using this.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to go from one side right the way through round to the other.
Good.
It's handy having this hole here.
How's the inside wall looking now with that different size cutter?
Well, you still get ridges with a small one.
Oh, you do. You really can't avoid the ridges with a 6mm cutter.
No.
It's
Um,
almost
But
impossible
the
to avoid ridges.
beauty of this tool is you can actually put the 10mm cutter tool in as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does he do a range of high-speed steel cutters for it? You know, like Sorwest they have that sort of French curved one and the mushroom cutter. And
I believe you can put those different cutters on this arm.
all right, okay.
Yeah,
Because
standard 4mm screw bolts.
yeah. You can change that. Because you can also
Look.
put the
Lewis is blaming you now, Mark. He says, as soon as, he's blaming Pete, in fact. As soon as Pete spoke poorly about customs in Canada, my internet blew up.
You can put this
Coincidence?
one in as well. This flat bar.
Oh, that'll go in as well, will it? All right.
That'll go in as well with the adapter.
Oh,
You have to
cool.
put the adapter on. So you
Yeah.
can hold the Simon Pro Hollower, which is this one.
Yeah, which is a 19mm bar. Yeah.
Because that's actually the adapter that goes inside there.
You might be able to use Robert Slurby tools as well through that then, because that looks like the same adapter that's in the Sovereign system. Oh no, Mark's frozen.
Your tool rest height, because you do want to be cutting on center.
Yep.
You need your cutter to be on center.
Just a word of caution, Mike. You froze for
Give
a
this
couple
another.
seconds there.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you did,
Right.
just for a few seconds, yep.
It's actually frozen deliberately because Hugh's got a question for Brian.
Yeah, I know. I'm not answering it.
Yes,
I do know
Brian,
it.
he knew it was SK114 Chuck, and it froze just so you could see it clearly was.
That's exactly what it was, yeah.
Wayne said the Woodcut Pro Former cutters work a dream with that system. So yeah, anything that's got a 19mm bar or can be adapted to a 19mm bar will do the job nicely.
Will fit and work. Woodcut Pro Form cutters. Okay.
And Lewis said, one man's opinion, I would start the finish thickness top down now.
Hey?
Lewis says he would start the finish thickness top down now.
Okay.
Yep.
You can't see it accurately here, but it does look to me as though the laser falling off the side there.
No. It's because of the hole. Still another ½ inch.
So Mark Harvey has joined us. Good afternoon, Mark.
Good afternoon.
Ben Jarman says you can also buy collets to use any of the small bars down to 10mm. There you go. Thanks, Ben. Ben Jarman says he's off to pay our pensions. Good man, Ben. He's way back to work.
Can you work a bit harder? I could do with an increase.
Yeah, we could do a 5% increase. It would be good. Brian Green's just
Brian
arrived
wants
from
the
Green.
hollowing rig and the vacuum chuck, so he requires using overtime.
I'll need 10% then. Brian Green from Green Haven Creations has just joined us. Hi, Brian.
Good afternoon.
That's another Brian with an I.
And Andy Mead has joined us and says, "Hi, Mark."
Who?
Andy Mead.
Hi, Andy. How you doing, buddy? How's the turning going? Andy was my student for last week.
Oh, it was.
Oh,
That's
that's
I
what I
thought I
forgot to
recognised
say.
the
I
name.
knew I forgot to say something. Apologies for not being here for the last couple of weeks, guys. 2 weeks ago, I was in Ireland with these two reprobates. And last week, I was doing a 3-day course for Andy Mead, who's just popped into the chat. He's a new turner. He did really well.
He did. You've seen the results of his labour. Oh, that's not it.
Andy's very familiar with this piece because he tripped over it for 3 days. It was on the floor down beside the lathe.
It's in the way. Oh, that's not that overly terrible.
Lewis has just commented, "For people who wonder why hollow forms are expensive." Yep, this is why. They take time.
This is why. Right.
Holoforms are an exercise in patience. Patience,
Yeah.
understanding, and paranoia.
Why are you doing one then, Mark?
Because I was a driving instructor for 6 years, I got more patience than most people.
You were a bus driver as well, sir.
Yeah,
I was a bus driver for 6 years too, yeah.
that counteracts all of your driving instructor patience.
Yep.
Hugh's asking if you'll get this piece finished today.
No.
I would doubt
Well,
that.
I will, but not
Not
on
on
camera
camera.
because I'm not going to subject you guys to. Oh, look at that! Oh, I'm really chuffed with that. That's coming along just how I wanted it. I wanted a huge, great big opening on one side. That nice little opening there, just there, which I can.
Oh, I think this is crying out for gold leaf on the inside.
Look at that! Look, see how good is that? I'm chuffed with this.
Yeah, that's good.
I would seriously recommend people, if you want any hollowing doing, if you really want to start getting into serious hollowing, get yourself one of these rigs. Is Lewis in the background or has he given up?
He's given up.
He's given up.
He's in the chat, but he hasn't got enough internet to stay online ever since I mentioned the customs.
Hugh says, have we any idea where we can buy the collar adapter for the hollowing rig?
Simon Hope.
From Simon, I would think.
Yeah.
Let me have a quick look.
Mine
JP
actually
said,
came with it.
if
Yes.
Mark turned faster, it would be done quicker.
Yeah, you're very funny. You're really funny.
Speed is your friend, Mark.
Right. Let's see what I can get out of it.
I can confirm that you can buy the adapters from Simon Hope. They're on his website.
That's 800.
There's a 13mm and a 10mm, and they're £9.50 each. And if you want
That's
the
looking
link,
good at that speed. Unless your camera's moving at the same rate as the
paste. There's the link for the hollowing. They call it for the hollowing jig. There are two sizes, 13mm and 10mm.
And Simon also has a machine shop to make these things, so
Yeah.
if you think of something he hasn't got,
He'll
you
make
ask
it.
him, he will make it. If it's a really good idea, he might even give you a discount on it.
I was talking to Simon at the Chestnut Weekender, and I gave him an idea for something that he already does. The sanding disc that he does.
Yeah.
He only does it on a 50mm jaws. And I said, why don't you do it for the jaws for the Axminster? And then you've got two products to sell. And he's going to consider doing it.
What's on it? Oh, little.
It's a
Yeah,
solid
I know
disc, so it's like a sanding disc
Yep.
that you put on your chuck.
Yep.
The one he makes at the moment is for the Record Power Sorby
C4.
Big Mark chucks.
Yeah.
He doesn't make it, I think it's 57mm for the Axminsters. So I do a few more passes and we'll call it a day, because I'm sure this is not interesting for you guys.
Mark Harvey says this is impressive. I like it.
Where are you from, Mark? How long you been turning, mate? Seen you in a few chats.
And Mick Jew says I've got the sand disc marks on about, and it's amazing. Just how many times it gets used. Is this a thing that we I could replace my little wooden ones that I make? That's the same idea.
Yeah, same idea. That's the wooden one I've got with a faceplate ring on the back.
Okay. All right.
His are slightly smaller. I think they're 150mm, but he's also considering making the 300mm size, which is this one. And he's going to also consider making them for Axminster chucks.
Okay.
Right, so one more pass, then we'll call it. So I'll start at the bottom.
So Susie's asking you to go back into the Simon Hope page, Brian.
I know, she's just tempting. She's tempting fate. I'm doing it now.
Yeah, and of course that will fit the Record Power chuck as well. Mark Harvey said he's from Warwickshire. He's been doing it for around 3 years. And he says still no good. I only get to do it 1 day a week. Well,
It's okay.
1 day a week is better than no days a week. And yeah,
Correct.
it just takes practice and time.
The discs you make are aluminium, are they?
Yes.
Yeah.
The one. Hope 6-inch aluminium sanding disc.
Right.
Copy. There you go, Susie. That's the link to that. Currently priced on the Simon Hope page at £25 plus shipping.
So did you click buy whilst you were looking at it?
No, I didn't. No, I just ignored it. Again, it's got that lovely big yellow PayPal checkout thing, and I'm avoiding it like the plague. JP says, dude, that looks awesome.
Thank you. I'm not nervous at all. I am. I'm terrified.
It's
Absolutely
definitely crying
terrified.
out for gold leaf on the inside now. It definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you've got enough room in there to do a whole lot of sanding as well.
Oh, yeah, no. So I'm going to be carrying on playing with this a little bit more. I'll bring myself in and I'll change to that one.
That one,
So
yay!
I'm going to carry on and just sort of finish off this a little bit more. Thank you everybody for coming along. The completed video for this is probably going to be up either next week or the week after. By the time I finished it, edited it, put all the music on. So you'll recognise a lot of the
pressure, Mark.
you'll recognise a lot of the footage because that'll be from today. So that's sort of an insight into large hollowing using a hollowing rig. Now mine is the Simon Hope one. There are lots of others out there. Thank you ever so much, everybody, for coming along. Thank you for joining me doing this. This is a special one for me. We don't often, as woodturners, get the opportunity to do special pieces. This one means a lot to me.
We can tell by the way you're handling it, Mark.
Yeah. Well, Bude is. I've lived all over the world, and
He's
Bude is the
fondling
only
it.
place. Bude is the only place that I've ever called home. So this means a lot to me, and I hope it means a lot to all my friends and family who live here in Bude, and everybody who comes to see it for years to come. Right, so that's it. Thank you, Pete. Thank you,
Lovely
Brian.
comment. You're welcome.
Thank you, Lewis. Thank you to everybody for popping in and saying hello, and thank you for your continued support. That's it from me. So I'm going to say goodbye. I'll press the button, and we can all bugger off.
Cheers,
Bye,
everyone.
everybody.